and you're in the basement with JaVonne and Terez for old time's sake.
Hey, everybody, this is Kenny Bobian, and you're listening to Brunch in the Basement with JaVonne and Terez.
Hi, this is Robin S., and you're listening to JaVonne and Terez in the basement. Show them love!
Can't deal with y'all. Hey, this is Avery Sunshine, and I am in the basement with JaVonne and Terez, shining.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and you're tuned in to Brunch in the Basement with JaVonne and Terez.
Hey, it's your girl Allison Williams, and you're in the basement with JaVonne and Terez.
Hey, this is Lenny Williams, and you're listening to Brunch in the Basement with JaVonne and Terez, playing my kind of music.
Still in the basement, no longer alone, with my homegirl Terez on the microphone. Music, politics, or just chatting it up. Brunch in the basement, see that's what's up. You never know who might run through. Legendary artists or someone brand new. You miss a lot when you miss one day. At least that's what I heard somebody say. But it doesn't really matter what whoever says. It's always a good show with JaVonne and Terez. Yeah. Brunch in the basement with JaVonne and Terez. Yeah. Let's see who we got today.
Come on, everybody's a friend in my head. I already know everybody.
Whatever it is, it's gonna be good.
One day I'll tell you about me and Shaka Khan, but you know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but she doesn't know anything about it. But anyway. No, she doesn't. She wasn't even there actually. But anyway, but she did mention none other than Shaka Khan as one of her.
Why you gotta say, wait a minute? Why you gotta say Shaka? She did mention no other than Shaka Khan. I'm like, where does your voice go? What happens? What's happening? Even the mere mention of her name. Silence. Oh gosh.
Would you believe I'm blushing?
Yes. Hard. You're speechless blushing. That's the thing. Speechless blushing.
Grazi, I can't help it.
There's a Shaka rehab, you know.
If there's a cure for this, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Senses though, Jay. She's got our ears and
I'm gonna send y'all some perfume. I'll definitely get an address. I'll send y'all out tomorrow.
You can send me some cologne, because I mean, you know, yeah. Just in case I should meet Shaka Khan, I want to smell really, you know, nice.
Oh God.
Okie dokie, babe. Whatever you say.
I just wanted to wish everybody a happy Shaka Hanukkah. All right, thank you. Let's carry on. I'm sorry.
JaVonne, yeah, there's a pill you're going to be able to take for that. I promise not to tell them which way you went, but they're coming for you.
The time, so
And we thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yes,
well, thank you. This part, that little piece, I'm just gonna keep and play it all the time for myself. But no, I'm just teasing.
Hey, Rezi Poo.
Hey, what's poppin'?
Man, you know, there I go again, just doing too much.
Uh-oh.
You know, if you send me something right before the show starts, and I'm gonna try to pull it up and fix it, it's just gonna be y'all gotta send me stuff early. Send me like the day before, the night before, and maybe I could make something out of it. But if it's something that I'm going to be inspired to create, or if it's something that you want uploaded or here, we got to, and not just you, anybody want something, see something that I know that you want to talk about or seen, send it to me like in the email first of all, because if it's on the phone, I can't see shit without these glasses. Where am I?
Oh no.
Who am I? What the fuck is going on? That's why I see why people can't hear when they take their glasses off. It's like, what you say?
It's like your ear and your eyes are connected.
I can't hear you, baby.
Yeah.
Speak up. Yeah. No, so yeah, I was looking at and going through the video that you mentioned in the email about Charlamagne. So yes, it is Tammy Too Much Time, and I was breaking down some of it, trying to, and I will put up some of it, as I'm sure you sent it to me because you want to discuss it, right?
But of course,
that
and many others, we've gotten,
but you gotta send I know I do good work, but I can't do it all in a moment. It takes editing and processing, and the edit job that I did, first of all, I was not able to even look at it again, and it is not good. And it's long, so because I didn't complete it. So we will have to sketch through it, like,
sure,
because it's too long. Yeah,
I could sum it all up, because
well, I have a feeling that we're going to see this differently. I really do. But go ahead, sum it up.
I'm not gonna go to the. I say all this to say, and pardon the hood, I'm just trying to keep wind out of my.
I like the look though. It's fancy.
It's my dust is everywhere, but Poppy Chulo, good morning, Misty. What I will say is that, well, first, kudos to Charlamagne for getting the interview. Okay,
absolutely.
And I say that because the Breakfast Club, by and large, and then there's Charlamagne the God, because he's digging quite a bit of a profile for himself, author and talk shows, and he's parlaying. He's doing exactly what you need to do, grow in this industry. If this is your lane, then he's growing in it. And
yes,
and also I'll say this too, because we've made each other's acquaintance a few times. I remember Charlamagne coming in the very beginning to New York radio, let's just say. Yes. And he was
Wendy Williams show.
Yes, he was connected to the Queen of Media, Wendy Williams, and shout out to Wendy Williams. And he was, he had done some other things prior to that, so he wasn't like out of obscurity, and he grew. And I love the fact that Charlamagne has allowed us to watch him evolve in his life journey somewhat, Now, of course, there are things that everybody, of course, there's things that you don't know. That goes without saying. But based on, his position in mental health, and understanding how important that is and speaking out on that, and his support in the LGBT community, and at the on his biggest platform is amazing, and watching him go through his own transformation as a man, and he talks about things that he's encountered as a Black man, and he's a straight talker. Charlamagne is a straight talker. Now, he may not be everybody's cup, but I particularly dig him. I do. So that being said, he
sat with the vice president. And where the interview went interesting to me. I mean, it all was interesting because Charlamagne is a straight shooter. You know, I'm sure that, you know, like for those of you who don't know, usually when you sit down with high profile folks, you have things that you can ask them and things that you cannot ask them. It's just that way. You know, they still adopt to the old media because they will not be ambushed publicly on any platform. And to get it, there's a whole lot of stuff you have to do prior to that. Whole lot of stuff, including screen the questions and things of that nature, right? But this particular question,
we even have, well, I know I have even had that happen here on this show. Like people will send me set of questions and that's all they will, you know, go for.
There are
okay.
Yeah, there are publicists and there are public relations people, which are two different things, that are in charge of some of the biggest images in public, and they very much steer, you know, what is being asked and what's being said, you know. So yes, it's not a free for all. It never is, you know. Yeah, it's just certain things, you know, you just can't do. But I'm wondering at the same time, because that question, who is the president? Phenomenal. And as you saw the vice president shift in her posture, and see, I've heard a lot of things about the general response. Oh, he stepped up. Oh, how can he do that to her? Oh, he would have never done. Here's the deal with that.
I don't think he did anything wrong.
No, but I've heard, oh my God, how disrespectful. Oh my God, this, oh my God, that. First of all, we're not going to go there, you know, because anybody, and granted, he may not have gotten an opportunity to, and he's interviewed other politicians before, and the vice president and the president are politicians. We forget that, you know. And at the end of the day, this was not his first. And it damn sure won't be his last, you know. But he asked the question that the people want to know because we're freaking confused. And when he, you know, politicians have an interesting way of steering it back to where they need it to be. I don't care about what you're asking them. If they don't want to talk about it, they have an interesting way to steer it back to what they are doing as opposed to the question asked. And when he spun it back again, you know, I said to myself, okay, now we're going to get something. And true to form, she popped up and went into her personality, you know, and which is what the people want to see ultimately. They want to see somebody fired up and working in support of the community, and not just the Black community, and the community by and large. Like some of those, and like he said, some of those campaign promises, like, see, that's what's not being drilled enough to me. You know, you and Biden campaigned very hard and hit some very, very critical issues, not only for our community, but for the American people. And we need to hear where you are with that agenda. Where are you with that agenda? You know, and not about all the other, you know, because they're the topics, and of course they're the subtopics that go along with that. Not all the subtopics, you know. Yes, we love the tax credit for children. Absolutely, that's
amazing. So let's just stop there for a second, because a lot of people, at least I would think, I suspect, in our age range, are not raising little babies anymore, or at least not in my age range. And so the tax credit issue that is being talked about, families have been receiving $300 per child, okay, in cash. And for, if you have little ones, you're getting $500. So while people are talking, people are not talking about that. And I even if that's the only thing that actually got done in a year, because I've seen presidents and ain't shit happen in a whole year. Ain't no change. And especially ain't no change in families' pockets. Ain't nobody been getting no under any circumstance. So I think that's pretty big.
No, it is pretty big, but
I
it
mean,
is
I
pretty
know
big.
if I was a young woman with two little ones and whatever, and I'm trying to hustle, trying to make it do what it do, like I actually have a couple of friends that are getting that tax cut, and it's helping them. So,
I'm not. Maybe you misunderstood. I'm not
no,
saying.
I'm not talking about you. This is not about you. No. This is just me giving more information about something that has been done, because people are saying that nothing is getting done. And that is one thing that is getting done. I'm sorry. No. Proceed. No, and it's important.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is important. And maybe, just maybe, there could have been some order of appearance, because some of the long-term things that have been pressing beyond the child credit, because everybody doesn't have children. Let's just be clear, and so there are still a good portion of Americans that don't get that credit.
That's right. But the thing that I'm talking about is that within the first year, less than a year, because they haven't really even been in power for a year, that is at least one thing that is already not in motion, but has been happening. And first, we want to take care of the babies.
Right.
To me, even though I'm not getting it, I ain't getting a damn thing. But I'm extremely excited and happy for the families that are getting it, because for me, it's not about me. It take care of them first. There's so many things that have to happen, and if putting money and food in the mouths of babies is the first thing that you do, and then now they got the money for the lead pipes, all pipes are going to be changed. That's already a done deal. The money's out there, and they getting ready to change pipes. We've seen what's been happening.
Was that an old Obama issue that he was addressing?
That is yeah, I think it stems back way before that, because the pipes didn't just turn bad like during the Obama administration. That's when the lead poisoning finally exploded, the issue of it. But it was those pipes have been like that for decades.
I mean in terms of not the problem, the solution to it.
Right, getting it fixed.
Right.
Getting it fixed. Because who didn't do a damn thing. So we have 4 years of anyway. I'm sorry. Don't I didn't want to rant. My bad.
No. And again, there's so many sides of this coin, but what I was saying was that he pushed the button, and it should not have been a button, but you could tell it was a button based on her posture on it, and people are going to run with it any kind of way they want to run with it, but it was a question that should be asked, like who's doing what, and she gave him somewhat of the sass on it, but it was unnecessary. It really wasn't necessary sass, but he in turn says, okay, well, that's the fire we want to see, because quite frankly, then she explained how many Republicans are out doing this and that, and like it's like we know all that, but it still doesn't change. Like people are entitled to their feeling on the matter.
So and I'm glad that you said that, because people are entitled to their feelings, and we all know that feelings aren't facts, but it's a fact that we feel this way, and my only issue with the interview is none of this, except that he asked her the same damn thing.
What do you mean?
50 times, and she answered it the first time about Manchin, about why are we allowing Manchin to hold up everything? Like, what is she supposed to do? Go shoot him? She's supposed to shoot him in the forehead so he can go away. Somebody else could take his spot. And then, you know, maybe we can have Democrats that are all together on it. There's always someone who doesn't vote along party lines. And people, nobody has to be true to their party if that's what they're elected to do. Like, you're a Democrat, but I don't believe in democratic things, but so I want you to go there and mess up, even though that's not what's going on with Manchin. Manchin's doing his own thing, his own bidding, because and allegedly, I don't know, who knows, I don't know, he is in the pockets of some big businesses and the Republicans and coal, and he's whatever, he's with these people. However, like she says, he's one guy, but there's 50 Republicans. Not one of them wants you to vote. So what about them? It's not him. It's not just him.
No.
It's just him, and then there's Cinema. She's been given a hard way to go.
True.
Right? And then there's 50 fucking Republicans. Any one of them can say, you know what? We do want all people to be able to vote, because they had voted on behalf of voting rights before.
Well,
and now all of a sudden they don't want to do it.
If they don't get this together, like I said in the former show, if they don't get these voting rights together and address that, it won't matter much. And I think that, you know, how you have your list of priorities that are, and then you have to reshuffle your priorities. And there are some that require immediacy. I believe that those are the immediate.
I think that voters' rights is next. That's what Biden said is the most paramount thing on his agenda right now. They put back the Build Back Better, which has a lot of those other things in it that we are all asking about. But there's a reason why you get the amount of time that you get to be a president and then to implement some of the things. And also there's a reason why in this country you can't be president for life.
Thank God. And you shouldn't be Supreme Court justice for life either.
Right. I agree with that 100%. However, if we don't get it together in terms of and one question I wish he would have asked her, and one question that we all should be asking, I think, is how, okay, if you're having, because she spelled it out, how it works, how come things are not getting done and what they're trying to do. Okay, what can we as citizens who are not elected officials, what can we do to help you to further this agenda? Because this is the agenda that we put you there for. And I personally saw what happened when we didn't support other people that we put in office. We didn't support them by ensuring that there was enough people in the House of Representatives and in the Senate to support the agenda. Otherwise, the Affordable Care Act would have already been much better than what came out. It ended up passing by piecemeal. And the whole thing is not what it was set out to be, because Republicans wouldn't vote for it. Nobody would vote for it. And he didn't have enough people to support the parts where the insurance companies paid for it, paid for this and paid for that, it's just ridiculousness. And I want to know what can I do to help to get the agenda passed? How can I help voting rights get passed and established? I see what you're doing.
That's a two-part, I think. I think that if just like any and I may maybe use this sports analogy. In basketball, there's a point guard. In football, there's a quarterback. They call the plays. If you are in the position, i.e., and the American people don't know, because quite frankly, a lot of it looks like tomfuckery, and I'm just going to put it out there. But if you are the quarterback or you are the point guard, you are calling the plays. You tell the people what you need. And then if the people don't line up, then you come back and say, okay, people, you didn't get us what we need to get the job done. You know, you tell your linebackers, you tell your running back, you tell everybody what they need to do. You know, and we can go back and forth about her interviews, but if that is what's needed, and we don't know, because honestly, you say, what can I do? Right? Wouldn't you like to know from a quarterback in the place what you specifically can do to maximize your time? Wouldn't you want to know, outside of just, oh, everybody go vote? We know that. But if there's something specific that JaVonne can do to move this agenda forward, wouldn't you like her to name and claim that? So that we can say, okay, we got it. We got the plan. Because that's how games are won. You know, we can't keep guessing and keep thinking, because honestly, I think that's what a lot of the millennials are thinking, because they just think, okay, I show up, I vote. Okay, I vote on this level, I vote on that level. What else is there for me to do?
I think the millennials pretty much got it though.
Voting and marching.
Is that this generation, this current generation of people? Are they the millennials, or are they older? Are they the people like 18 to 30, or is it the 30 to 40? Who are the millennials? Name them. Like
it still doesn't amount to anything but.
You froze. You froze. You're freezing. Say that again. You froze. You said what?
Am I unfreezing?
No, you're not freezing now.
Oh, no, I said it still needs to matter more than just voting and marching.
Yes. So what generation is the millennials? It's an honest question, because I hear it all the time and I'm not sure exactly. Is it the 18 to 30 age, or is it the
I would say
30 to 40, or is it the
20 to 35?
20 to 35. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the same group of people who took over and bought out all of those tickets when Trump was doing that rally, right? This is that age, right? That's what I'm talking about. These young people, they know how to use technology to send out messages, to do certain things. And yes, they could use guidance, direction, and leadership specifically towards them to tell them what is needed, and for us to tell us what is needed, and that would be very helpful. But I think
oranges.
I think that for right now, what people, at least the things what I've been hearing and seeing, is that people have been saying, where is Kamala Harris? Where is she? Like she's in a dungeon somewhere and we need to rescue her.
It feels like.
Well, I think she pretty much spoke for herself as to where she has been and what she's been doing. And I think not only on during Charlemagne's interview, but on other interviews that I've seen, she's spoken about the child tax credit that they got done. She's talking about the infrastructure bill, which includes, thank you, Pop, 25 to 40. That was good, Terez, because you're in there. I have no idea. I've been saying millennial. I don't know.
I think 40 is pushing it, but okay.
Yeah, I think 40 is a little old for. I mean, not that 40 is old. I'm just saying that I thought millennial was a little younger than that. But I'm technically a millennial. I'm not happy about the handle though. Is that a good impersonation, LaVonne? I'm just messing with her because I like her passion. You know, some people.
Yeah, Gen Z. See all the
So you're Gen Z, and you were what?
To Gen Z, Gen X, Millennial.
Wow.
Baby boomer.
Let me just say, let me just thank you all for watching and and for hanging out with us. Everybody. Matter of fact, one thing, you know, you're listening to WJBR Internet Radio, Brunch in the Basement with JaVonne and Terez. And we appreciate you. And Pop is in the chatter box with the chatterboxes. And I just want to thank everybody for your ongoing support. For those of you listening on the podcast, because we don't see you, it's not like we forget you. It's just that I want you to know that we acknowledge you and we thank you for listening. And the number to call in if you're interested, now that I'm thinking about it and pulling up the the phone line here, it is 347-996-5394. And I think also, let's see if we can see if there's been any changes in terms of who's listening. So it's still Taiwan. After the United States, which of course, the divided states, United States of America, across the country, we welcome you. We thank you for listening to the podcast. In Taiwan, you are second to the United States, and you are listening more often than Canada, which continues to blow my mind, because Canada for many years has always been the secondary support of this show. France and the UK follow Canada. So thank you so much, all of you, for listening. If you would like to see us, you can see us.
You don't want to see me now, but okay.
Actually, it's a very cute look. One of the chatterboxes put some little innuendo thing about how they try not to say too much about, they try to be appropriate. And you're giving off boxer vibes. You got the whole Layla Ali thing going on, but with the silk, with the beautiful eyes.
Oh Lord, I didn't see that. Okay.
Well, I added a little bit, but
oh yes.
Oh boy, I'm so goofy.
Well, I am
and I like it.
I am Scruffy.
No, but that is a good look. The hoodie, man. I'm gonna come through with a hoodie and nobody ain't gonna say shit. But that's all right. That's all right. I got eyes too, y'all. Shoot. I'm just saying. Yes, another sad day for hip hop. Rest in peace.
Yes.
Kango Kid, you were a force, and we thank you for everything you did for the culture.
Yes.
Thank you so much. May you rest in eternal peace, King.
And that's from the, because JaVonne, you and I are both hip hop. You know that, right? So,
yes.
Given that, and shout out to Kango Kid, his family, his daughter, his sons, and and his former group members of UTFO, Roxanne, Shantae. Shout out to you, baby girl. I'm not forgetting you. I know this is a hard day for you all. And he battled strong. He battled strong to the end. And it's yet another legend gone. Too soon, if you ask me. But God only picks the best fruit. And we just have to keep his family lifted during their time. And Full Force family, absolutely. Shout out to Bowlegged Lou and the brothers. Yes. All of them, because they really, really showed up for their man, and in ways that Full Force does. And if you know any of those brothers from Full Force, Paul Anthony, for any of them, that they are just straight love. They are straight love, and I mean that like with every fiber of my being. They're gonna rally for you. They're gonna call you. I get text messages out of the blue from Lou all the time, like, hey, just thinking about you, or hey, shoot me a picture from wherever, he's just that dude. So it's a dark day in hip hop.
Where your glasses at though, Auntie?
I left my glasses on my desk at home in the closet. I have Auntie Scruffy has been working on a project for the last couple of weeks, and my day started at 4 a.m. today. So please forgive me if I'm a little dragged, but I have been in bed by 8 o'clock every night, like clockwork. My body goes, ooh, and that's it. So I forgot them, actually. I thought I had them in my bag, and I don't. So that's what
So yeah, I guess what I will do, since I spent the first 4 minutes while the show was supposed to be going on, I didn't even realize that it was showtime. I can play some of the video of Kamala and Charlemagne, and yeah. Since I did not prepare a Black History moment, this is Black History. Charlemagne, I just want to give a shout out because the brother did make Black history by interviewing her. He is now forever a part of Black history. Not that he wasn't before, but this is big. This is big.
Have joining me for a God's honest conversation, the Vice President of the United States of America, Kamala Harris.
And let me just say, excuse the editing. I'm sorry. I had to break that in there. I had to break in there. Excuse the editing. I didn't edit the thing well. I was just slicing up pieces of it. And so it's going to look kind of crazy, but you'll get the point.
Hey, Charlemagne, good to be with you.
My first question is a question that after the pandemic, when I ask, I expect a real answer, okay? You ready?
Okay.
How are you?
Oh, thank you for that. And I know you really mean it. Folks wouldn't have to pay more than $35 a month for their insulin. We're talking about elder care. So many folks are raising their young children and taking care of their parents. And it is impossible to take care of their basic needs without having some assistance, and that means bringing the cost down so people can afford to live and satisfy their basic needs and their responsibilities.
By the way, Terez or anybody, if you want me to pause at any point, just raise your hand, and then I'll stop, and you can discuss whatever it is that you want to say.
Awesome.
Same thing for the chatter boxes. If you want to put a comment up, just put a comment up, and we'll put the comment up. And if either Rez or myself want to respond or chime in or talk about what you're talking about, we could do that. All right. Okay, Pop.
So we're going to keep pushing, and we're in extensive talks across the aisle with both folks in terms of Republicans and Democrats, but we're not going to give up on it at all.
But where's the pushback on Senator Joe Manchin? Why is he allowed to constantly hold up President Biden's agenda?
I mean, look, here's the thing that is an important fact, which may sound technical, but it really is an important fact. We have, folks know we have the White House as Democrats, the House and the Senate. In the House, we have, as Democrats, a majority. I believe as of today, it's by 3 votes out of hundreds of people. In the Senate, where there are 100 senators, we are split 50-50 in terms of the Democrats or independents who caucus with the Democrats and the Republicans. And that makes me, as the president of the Senate, the tie vote. Every vote matters, especially in the Senate, and we have to listen to the voices who represent their districts. And so that's what we do, and then we negotiate. Some people said we would never get the infrastructure deal done, but we got it done. Some people said we couldn't get the American Rescue Plan done, which was $1,400 checks for folks, where we expanded the child tax credit. A lot of the way we did that was also informed by some previous work I did to say, people have to pay, parents have to pay the bills every month, so let's get them the child tax credit in payments every month so that they can get through the month. We got that done. Some people said it couldn't be done, but it takes negotiation, and that's what we have to do. Sometimes it is frustrating. Some people say watching sausage get made, you think that's difficult? Well, watch a bill get made. It's frustrating, and sometimes it's just not pretty.
At what point do we, like, stop being politicians and just be real with the American people, Madam Vice President? Because we know Joe Manchin is ruining this country. The stuff he's holding up progress on are hurting people. They're hurting black people in particular. If Democrats allow Joe Manchin to continue to do this, how do you convince black people to come out and continue to vote for y'all? He's holding up progress. We know this.
Hey, Charlamagne, here's the thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a mistake to try and think about this only through the lens of Democrats versus Democrats, when the fact is Republicans are consistently and unanimously standing in the way of progress.
Very true.
It is my recollection that not one voted for the American Rescue Plan. It is my knowledge that we couldn't get them to even agree, not one, to debate on what we were trying, except maybe Lisa Murkowski at some different points, to debate what we need to do on voting. Couldn't get, because of Republican opposition, the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act to get up for a vote, something I helped write with Cory Booker. So let's put the emphasis where it really needs to be, which is how is it that today, in this year of our Lord, 2021 in America, that on some basic issues like upholding our democracy, we can't get bipartisan support and therefore can't get it through. You go back to Reagan and Bush. Mm-hmm. There were Republicans during those eras and even before who voted to extend the Voting Rights Act. And now we can't get anybody direct conversations with prime ministers and presidents and a king, some of whom I have had over to my home. And they are around the world saying, what's going on with you in the United States? What's going on with this voting situation? What's going on? Because right now we are debating whether democracies actually can survive, or is autocracy better, which is basically one person or one group telling everybody what they should do. This is what's at stake right now for America. And you can tell I'm a bit frustrated, more than that actually, that people are making this into a partisan issue instead of stepping up to say, save our democracy. And that means stop messing with people's right to vote like they're doing in Georgia and Texas. And this is so much bigger and generational impacting. And people have got to come together, and they need to be held to account, which is what you always do. We need to hold people to account. And that includes looking at the Republican Party.
I agree.
Where do you stand?
I agree Republicans are blocking progress, but when I think about it, it's like we went out, black people, we voted, got Democrats in the White House, got Democrats the Senate, but it seems like a Democrat, Joe Manchin, is always blocking progress. Like, if there's no hope in making Joe change, like, why not say that so at least we know who the problem is? Because I feel like you get villainized the way I feel Senator Joe Manchin should.
With student loan debt and responsibilities, and it's standing in the way of them being able to start a family or buy a home, and it's real, and we need to deal with it. I remember, I'm gonna date myself, but I had that little coupon where I'd have to pull out the coupon and put in the number and send a check with it every month. And that's real. That is real.
We need you to be the superhero that saves democracy. Somebody has to push back on Joe Manchin. That guy is stopping progress. He's ruining democracy. Are you willing to be that superhero? Because what scares me is if voting rights don't pass, or the Build Back Better plan doesn't pass, or police reform doesn't pass, I doubt you're going to get black people to go out there and vote in 2022 and 2024. And, Trump will be president again. What's the plan for all of that? She can hear me.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me, Madam Vice President?
So I'm sorry, we got a wrap.
Oh.
So I'm sorry to interrupt.
They're acting like they can't hear me.
I can hear you.
Oh, so who's the real president of this country? Is it Joe Manchin or Joe Biden, Madam Vice President?
Come on, Charlamagne.
Come
on. It's Joe Biden.
I can't tell sometimes.
No. It's Joe Biden, and don't start talking like a Republican about asking whether or not he's president.
Do you think Joe Manchin is a problem?
It's Joe Biden, and I'm vice president, and my name is Kamala Harris. And the reality is, because we are in office, we do the things like the child tax credit, which is going to reduce Black child poverty by 50%, on track to do that. We do things that are about saying that our Department of Justice is going to do these investigations and require that we end chokeholds and have body cameras. It is the work of saying we're going to get lead out of pipes and paint because our babies are suffering because of that. It is the work of saying people who ride public transit deserve the same kind of dignity that anybody else does. So let's improve that system. It is the work of saying that we have got to bring down prescription drug costs because folks who have diabetes should not be dying because they don't have enough money in their pocket. It's about saying Black maternal mortality is a real issue that must be treated by everybody, including the White House, as a serious issue. I hear the frustration, but let's not deny the impact that we've had and agree also that there is a whole lot more work to be done. And it is not easy to do, but we will not give up, and I will not give up.
I just want you to know that Madam Vice President, that Kamala Harris, that's the one I like. That's the one that was putting the pressure on people in Senate hearings. That's the one I'd like to see more often out here in these streets. Thank you for joining us, Madam Vice President.
I'm glad to be with you. I'm
Absolutely.
glad to be with you.
Appreciate you. Give Maya my love too, and Doug.
All right, you take care. Give your family my love. I want to see those babies.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And you can subscribe to Charlemagne if you enjoyed that interview. He has plenty more. And again, excuse me for the shoddy editing. As a Black voter, I'm frustrated with a history of Democratic benign neglect policies. We have been voting Democrat for 70 years. Make them work for your vote. Also, side note, her outgoing aide, Sanders, will leave by the end of December, but no announcement has been made on whether she has lined up another job, sparking questions over the circumstances surrounding her departure. Look, if you don't want to be there, don't be there. Did anyone else notice that her tone and demeanor was nearly adolescent when she got pissed off? But that's what people like. That's the one that people want to see. Did you hear what he said? That's who I voted for. They want to see her doing her neck, and that's what they want to see. She said the same. She said the very same thing. 5 minutes prior, she answered those same questions.
Not the same way,
but not with the same attitude.
No, I don't think she. I think, like he said, I think in listening to it again, even in your edits, I think what he asked when they're going to get real with the American people, like it doesn't have to be a politically savvy response enough to say, because he was asking a specific question about a specific individual, and she took it to what they've accomplished. He didn't ask her that. He asked her specifically about a specific individual, right?
And he asked her that a couple of times, though, right?
Yeah, but she didn't answer him. She went into saying what's needed and all that. And she could say, I bet you, has she said, yeah, he's a problem, and here's why? Answer the question.
She never did answer, and she's not going to say that. And she didn't say that because she doesn't believe that. And he asked it 3 times. The first time she answered the question, she said, look, it's not just him. She didn't say it in those exact words, but what she said was, let's look at the Republicans. You're talking about one Democrat. Let's not make it Democrat versus Democrat. We got 50 Republicans that are also not voting. So it's not just his one vote.
Question. She did not answer. It's even if it's that way, JaVonne, even if what she said was accurate, and it was, she didn't answer his question. And I think the American people are savvy enough to know that you got to start with my question and then embellish on it further. Because I mean, all of that what she said.
So let me ask you this then. She never
exactly.
She never again said it's Joe Manchin at the end, but yet he liked that answer. He liked the way she answered, and she said the same exact thing. He said,
JaVonne, I agree with you, LaVon. He was adapting his question. You said he was shifting his question because she was not answering his question. If she had said simply, yeah, he's an issue, question answered, and here's other things to support that.
But I don't blame her. I wouldn't have answered that either. I think that I don't think she danced around it. I think Pop says, he believes she danced around it.
She did. Come on, man. She did.
Because if it's your opinion, and clearly it's Charlemagne's opinion, he made his opinion clear that Joe Manchin is standing in the way of the Biden agenda. And it is her opinion that there are 100 senators. There are 100 of them that get to vote on this particular thing. He is one of them. Charlemagne didn't even mention Sinema, who is another Democrat that doesn't vote
Let me go back
along the Democratic line.
Let me go back to the beginning.
Wait.
These are not Charlemagne's. Let's see again. Don't make this
wait.
and her.
No,
but these questions are pitted, and they're pitted for a reason, right?
But I am glad that he is mentioning that there's Joe Manchin that is constantly being an issue. He did that for her. He answered the question for her. She don't have to go. It's just like the question where he asked, I don't think it's in the edit, but he asked her, do you think that you're getting a hard way to go? People are criticizing you more than any other VP because you're a Black woman. And she didn't answer that question either.
And she should have.
She answered it. Well, she didn't say yay or nay to that. And he answered it.
Give like again, like
but then you know what?
We have moved past those politics.
The thing is,
move past
the
that.
thing is that she needs more than Black people to vote for her and Joe. And when you come out and say, yeah, it's because I'm a Black woman.
That's not how she. No, that's not how she should have answered it. But she should have said, "Hey, you know what? I have not thought of that." Something acknowledging his question.
She did acknowledge the question. She said, "I appreciate your question, but I'm going to allow other people to answer that." What really drives me, what really gets me, is when people bring their children to me, and she answered the question. I mean, she answered the question the way she was going to answer the question. The other thing is that last question about who the president is, and when she got a little snarky or whatever,
when the finger went up.
Yeah, she had answered that question already.
No, she didn't. I don't agree. She did.
She had already. Well, we don't have to agree. In my opinion, he kept pushing about Joe Manchin. And she pushed about it's not only him. There are other senators that need to be on board. And quite honestly, she also spelled out the very things that I've been talking about. And I'm glad that she reiterated it, like how the votes for certain things go. So I don't know.
I think Barack Obama was the first president, I think, in his campaign. Whoever managed his campaign and his whole entire space needs to be rewarded, because he was the first president that used technology in such a way to rally the folks that mean something in terms of the vote, the turnout, and things in this country. Let's just be clear, and you probably won't hear me say this too often, but let's just be clear on who stands to lose the most behind a fucked up America at this point, and it ain't us, okay? So when you talk about that group of folks that were rallying his campaign, that were making everything move, that were doing things, using social media and every other platform available to him at that time, this is in 2008.
Absolutely, right? Yeah.
Push this thing forward in a way on the pledge of hope. Okay. So now that you've gotten that, the pledge of hope, He went in and he got a double dose. 8 years as our president. Then we got hit with the proverbial jackass, right? Dismantled a lot of things that Obama put in place. Called them something different. Some things he was able to do, some things he wasn't, okay? I think that should have taught anybody. And see, and Biden was around then. I'm not quite sure what he remembers, but Biden was around then. And what I don't understand is why you think that you can continue with this type of politics, the verbal part of the politics, meaning people are not gonna sit there and let you dance around their questions. They're just not gonna do it, you know? And no one's going to read in between the lines because it feels good. No, she's saying this. No, but that's not, you know, it's weird.
So okay, so for me listening, I heard the answers. No. So I would like to know what made her response at the end more palatable than her response when he first mentioned Manchin.
I think that he just simply between the time that her handler interrupted, because she was going to abort the interview at that point, because she was going to abort the interview basically, and you saw that happen, and they let it roll, and it continued out because two people can have a conversation.
And she also said, "No, I hear you, I hear you." Because she didn't want to end it. She could have stayed quiet and act like she didn't hear nothing. Who am I?
Well, that would have killed her completely. So she's smart. I'm not saying she's not smart. I'm just saying that, you know, like that whole trick that they try to do.
So the question is, what made her answer at the end more palatable than when she answered in the beginning? Because she said the same exact answer, except that she didn't this time.
Things different. So
she didn't even mention the Republicans the second time.
Okay, we're gonna agree to disagree on that part. She never.
So then you weren't satisfied with how she responded the second time either. But when Charlemagne said that's the Kamala we voted for.
When she said, I think, you know what, LaVonne mentioned something.
And the answer. I'm sorry. The answer to that is not if she don't answer the questions. No.
Well, right. But it's interesting. LaVonne wrote in the comments, did anyone else hear that her tone and demeanor was nearly adolescent until she got pissed off? And
let me see what she said.
11:51. And I was just, and I thought about that. I was like, oh, okay. So you aren't sleeping at the wheel. And I'm not saying that she is, before people take that out of context. I'm just saying that you have to approach these interviews with the same fervor that you did on the campaign trail. That's all I'm saying. You know, that's all I'm saying in a nutshell.
Okay, so it's because I just want to be clear that it's because she had more passion when she answered it.
Not necessarily more passion. When she got scratched, she scratched back. That's it. You know,
and then show me some fight. What you're saying?
She could have possibly lost control. You know, her handler came in, did exactly what she was going to do, because she's supposed to jump in the middle and say, hold up, we got to go. Then she said, okay, I'm the only face out here right now. Either burn or ride this out, because it's not, Charlemagne's not an adversary. That's just the thing. He's not, you know, he's not somebody against her. You know, he's somebody that's asking questions. Come on. Charlemagne is, if you follow him, you know that he's in support of Kamala Harris.
So
but that don't mean she gonna answer his questions publicly. He wasn't letting her freak him publicly either.
So
you know?
Are you saying that it's the passion with which she answered the question?
I'm saying that you saw
the fight back.
I'm saying that we voted for some, like when he said, I need you to be the champion for the Democratic Party. I need you to be the superhero rather for the Democratic Party. Right. That's what we need. We need that right now. We're sat in trauma for 4 fucking years with that glowworm.
True.
4. So I can't be a therapist, right? Let's just use me as an example. I can't counsel or support you watching you come out of a trauma situation with a bunch of pity pat. I'm gonna have to get serious about my clinical approach. And she don't have time to be a politician. She got to get with the people and give the people what they need. And so does Biden. I'm taking him off the hook because I'm also crystal clear that she can't do anything unless he really allows it, you know? But at the end of the day, like, y'all think y'all have this. Listen, Barack didn't have it. He didn't have it. So at the end of the day, you have to approach the people the way the people want to be approached. You have to tell them the truth. You have to answer a direct question, even if it's not in the best, you know. And there's a way. She's savvy enough with words to you know, like, I know when somebody's not answering my question. Maybe I'm a skill. Maybe I got too much of an advantage there, you know, as a trained professional there. I will say that I know when motherfuckers ain't answering my question. I know when they ain't. Exactly.
So we want her to go punch him in the neck. That's what you're saying.
No, girl.
Well, that's what Pop said. We need her to go in there. We need
no.
But
listen,
you know what? The only people that can
we need
make
her to
him
be a
do
quarterback.
something.
We need her to decide what she's going to be. Okay. And both of those positions are key positions, right? And you know, when you have somebody on your team, if I'm a quarterback and I have one play to do, throw it to the running back, and the running back is acting as if he does not want to catch the ball. What am I doing? I'm either pressing him full court press with the other folk. Politics is dirty. Let's just be clear. It is dirty. Okay? Dirty. So at the end of the day, apply a little grease there, because he does need to move up out the way. And they do need to understand this is what you're going to do. And then until, all right, I'll say it this way. Republicans are being every bit of dirty and have been for a very long time. And we can't keep going to the playground, getting our eyes blackened and walking out talking about we shall overcome. We tired of marching. We tired of that stuff. We need y'all to meet them where the hell they're at and come up with a win for the team. Real talk. Just come up with a win for the team. And let us know how you got that accomplished later if you care. We don't care about what it takes. We want to see it done. We are traumatized Americans that went through 4 years worth of back-to-back shit. I'll keep it on me. So now I'm not going to Mary Poppins for help, because I want to make sure that that kind of stuff does not exist in my world again. So I'm going to need somebody that's going to get the job done. If you're running for that seat, you know what it entails. Anybody pussyfooting nobody. You know what it entails if you're running for that seat. Get busy.
I love your fire.
I'm going to knock you out.
Do it. Come on. Give me more. Go ahead.
We're tired. Yes, we're tired. Her handles, tone, and behavior is indicative of someone who's.
You know what? You know what Kamala needs? Kamala needs Terez sitting right next to her. Just that, you know what? That's what Kamala needs. When Kamala's sitting there trying to do the nice, because you know we all know that Kamala is, you know, she's a hot pepper. We know that. We have seen her lose it. I have seen her. I've watched her on the congressional floor read, write, and erase motherfuckers. I've seen her do it.
She's for the American people. That's why we thought she'd get the job done.
I don't need to see her. I don't need to see it anymore, because I've seen her do it, and I know that behind doors she's doing it.
You don't know nothing.
Okay, let's put it like this. There are some things like people who need extra financial assistance are getting it. It's not because she was sweet Kamala. There's going to be money. There is money now being distributed to have lead pipes changed all throughout the country. It's not because. That's not because she's been sweet. And the infrastructure bill, according to all the papers and some of the people that said that they were there during these negotiations, she's the one that went across the aisle, as they said, which only means that she went and spoke to some Republicans and got them to change their minds. I'm sure she wasn't clutching her pearls, because I just don't see her as that. But
We need to
I
understand that
think
we want more.
she needs someone like you, if not you, your very self. I think if there's that to be done, then I think it's that important, Terez, that anything else you might have on needs to just hold up a minute, because you need to be sitting right next to Miss Chucks and Pearls, and every time she says, well, what I want you to know is that we understand the people. I need you to say, look, let me just tell you something. We've been doing it.
Remember that episode of Saturday Night Live when they had the translator for Barack?
Yes. You need to be that one.
Oh
Yes.
my God. I would love to do a spoof, or I would you listen, because
You
it's like
should.
at the end of the day, like it ain't about what they call you, it's about
You
what
know
you
what?
answer to.
That would be really good. Like to have one of her interviews where she's holding back and trying to play nice, and then have you as the interpreter. That shit would be, I would pay money to see that. So if I would pay for it with my tight ass, people would pay for that. So
I don't think politics are I
I'd vote for you too. I definitely would vote for you. I would 100%.
That's amazing.
Not only would I vote for you, I would knock on doors. I would do what I do to make it do what it do for you.
You know what?
Yes.
God bless you. It's funny because in some backroom conversations, this is how they go. They're more of me and you types in those back rooms, but what they put out front is something different. But how those conversations go, do you think they're not calling each other motherfuckers and all kinds of stuff? Sometimes they get caught, sometimes they don't. But all of those kind of conversations go on in those back rooms, back and forth.
Yep.
You know?
And this is true. The Dems need some fire lit up under them. And I believe, it's my personal opinion, and everybody's entitled to theirs, that because people have been so vocally dismayed at the fact that these voters' rights are being fucked with across the country, and the Dems have been sitting on it. And I get Biden with the Build Back Better and the infrastructure bill. You got the infrastructure bill, move on with that. Now it's time to get the voters' rights, because you're gonna build nice cushy roads for the Republicans to walk all over.
Facts.
Okay. And
why not say this? Because we have to constantly, as American people, make adjustments, right? We always make those adjustments in traumatic situations, i.e., the World Trade Center bombing. We made an adjustment. Nobody thought, that we could come out of that. And 4 years of rump, we made an adjustment for him. We kind of do this under some really unprecedented moments. What if somebody was to say, you know what? We're going to stay in this office further than 4 years and we can't get it together and vote, because ain't nobody voting in this camp until we get this thing straight. So that means you're going to be extending our stay by default.
Well, I don't know.
Meaning,
I like your pepper.
Meaning, if we don't get it fixed to where the American people have these rights and all this stuff, like everybody has equal, that's something we're not negotiating anymore. Too many of us have marched, died, all kinds of things to have voting rights. If that is not fixed, ain't nobody voting in this sucker, and we're shutting it down. And what that will do is extend them into an unprecedented moment that we can live through as American
well,
people.
you know what? Everybody ain't gonna go with that. Some people are gonna vote, and the people that vote, their people will get in, and the people.
No. There's no voting, because there's
How
no
are you
election.
gonna stop voting?
There's no election. The election is suspended until further notice. Period.
Who can do that?
What I'm saying is, American politics, elections will be suspended until further notice. That's not Greek. American voting will be suspended until further notice. Period. We do that all the time. We pause shit. Yes, it's unprecedented. You're supposed to look like that. Until everybody has the voting rights established where everybody's vote matters, we are suspending the elections until further notice.
And who is supposed to do that? Who's gonna Who's going to stop the election?
Create another special
I
party.
don't know. We just gonna do it. Damn it.
No, what I'm saying is it's only unrealistic because the protocols aren't followed. But the reality is we've lived through a lot of non-protocol situations. We have, and bounced back from it. If somebody, like if you get a coronavirus, the school systems, you react.
And so what happens if the elections are suspended? Then what happens?
Until they get it together. They only work under pressure over there at Capitol Hill. It seems when money is involved or pressure is involved or the fear of dollars being dropped at a substantial rate is involved, they react then. Or unions are involved, they react then. Or lobbyists are involved, they react then. So here's the thing. They don't want you in office further than the 4 years. Well, you know what? We're going to do something unprecedented. Create a special party that says, hey, this is out of control. Because again, if you don't get it done, if it's not done, what is the other side of that? It's more what's on the other side of that is more devastating than we can imagine as a people. Absolutely. So I'm saying until you get it together, suspend all the elections, period. That'll make a move. Special party. And I will be a part of that party.
I feel you.
I'll get up at 5 for that. We're like, okay, so who doesn't have rights? Because I'm giving out all rights here. Who doesn't have rights?
You giving out rights?
You got a right. You got a right. You get a right. Everybody should have a right as an American citizen and beyond in this country to vote. We should not be having this issue.
This shouldn't even be a question.
This is an old issue. It's an old issue. This shit is older than me. It's ridiculous now that we're still kumbaya in this bitch, and we need to be
as old as this country.
Yeah, come on. We're still here.
Yeah,
we're still here.
I agree.
Until further notice.
And not only that, it needs the electoral college needs to be
take that and throw it out too.
It needs to be one person, one vote. Period. The winner, let the winner stand. Speaking of making adjustments, with this COVID thing, looks like we need to adjust. This thing is crazy. There was a report, an investigation done through the Congress about how, and she's not wrong. There was an investigation done talking about how the whole initial response to COVID was really halted and mishandled and fucked around for political reasons.
Really? We needed them to say that to us? Come on.
We already knew it. We discussed it on this show. We
did.
Everybody knows it, but finally, and this is why elections have consequences. Had the elections gone differently, that investigation would not have occurred, and it would not be a part of the historical documents and all that other stuff. And now there is cause for subpoenas and arrests and shit like that, as far as I'm concerned. And my shit is what really bothers me is that this attorney general, that's what I would like to ask about that. Hey, why didn't we have Tish James as the attorney general? Because people's asses would be locked up already. We need for your text to come out. We already know. The people who wasn't text knew that text were going through.
And we have to make sure that we get out of the painstaking habit. Like JaVonne, you have on is that blue or black? It's difficult to tell. Blue or black in your shirt?
It's faded.
So
there's blue and black and red that now looks like almost pink.
So that's a blue, black, and red shirt, right? And I'm looking right at it.
Yeah.
I don't need you to confirm that you got a blue and black shirt on. I don't need your opinion. I don't need for you to figure out that you or be willing to admit later on, oh, by the way, that wasn't blue and black. Sure. We got to stop knowing what we know and defaulting what we know for sure to these crazy ass white folks that do not want to, that don't want to take responsibility for a lot of shit that they see. And what I say is, just like just like the riot in January, that still to me is dragging on. You have cameras all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
All over the place. They get special treatment. They get special meals. They get
vacation from jail. They get vacation from jail. They get
where they do that at.
They get to hold on to their firearm. They get a whole bunch of funky shit.
They willingly, when they're being arrested, still. And see, I want to see somebody with them same rights. Like, again, I'm giving out all rights here. Somebody with them same rights.
And if I see another white person kill a black person and fake cry on trial, trying hard, desperately to squeeze out some tears. I can't. I just can't. And yes, that's my opinion.
Man,
The number to call into the show is 347-996-5394. If you would like to add to this discussion, please feel free.
I saw that
call in.
I saw that Misty J had written in there that she was mad as hell about this COVID shit because she was close to going outside, right? And yeah, I stand in that space too, Misty. And I'll say this too, because how they like to, we had the orange bonyoing talking about, oh, it's from China, it's this, is that. Okay, that's piece of the story, my friend. Because the other side of that is when we were found out to have funded it, then what?
Yep.
Then what?
Now I was invited.
We didn't know?
Yeah, I was invited to an event, which, first of all, I was so damn flattered that I was invited to be put on the guest list for a special event that this, amazing artist is doing. I know that you're accustomed to that kind of thing, Terez, being put on guest lists. But for somebody like me, I'm not always put on the damn guest list to just come on in and hang out with what did I used to say? Hobnob with the snobs. That's what I used to say. I don't say that anymore. I should start saying it again.
Yeah,
anyway. But for someone like me, that's a big deal, But I thought about it, and they said, "Hey, let me know how many people you want to bring." I'm like, God, what? I almost forgot there was a damn pandemic. And one of the people that I was going to invite said, "Well, let's look to see what the capacity is and what's going on." No, not really, because what had happened was the place is sold out for that night. They are selling, and I mean, these are relatively expensive tickets. Standing room only, they are selling. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not going in there. I am not going. Not just, if you're watching, it's not just because of that, but that is a consideration. Look, we and after I declined the invitation, and I thought graciously, I probably won't hear from that person again, because I've learned some things about people, man. I've learned some things. Just if one person does a particular thing in a particular way, it doesn't necessarily mean that all people in that position do the same thing, but you have to start to wonder. You know, you have to start to wonder if when I give a certain energy and then I get a certain energy back, there's a lesson in everything because people let you know who they are.
Okay.
And you have to believe them. And it may not be just for that moment, for that, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, there are some people who maybe let's use the show. Since we're on the show, let's use this as an example. There are some people who may come through the show and play really, really nice with us on the show. And people watching the show might think that we are best friends for, the three of us. Like we all hang out because we vibe so well on the show. But the truth may be that they're having a good time on the show. Maybe they know you personally and they're good friends with you, and I may never see or hear from them again. People don't know that, right? But because what they see is what's on the show. It may be that they're not friends with either one of us, and we may never hear from them again. They had the experience, they were on the show, and now that's it. All they wanted was a rapid fire they could put up on their website. Who knows, right? Or it may be that there may be other things that you find out through the course of the show. It may be that they come on and they don't know either of us and they become friends with both of us. Right?
Well, it depends on, I'm listening. I'm gonna let you totally finish so that I can grasp what you're saying.
So I think I started to say too much, I think. But and then I'm trying to curve it and change it into something else. But
don't be a politician.
I'm taking it in a goddamn circle. God damn it.
Don't be a politician.
I couldn't be a politician because I don't have a game face.
And I don't know you need one.
I think you do.
Politics. We're so used to people talking like Walter Cronkite. And for those of you who don't know who Walter Cronkite is, please Google him. He was one of a very, very long-term news reporter, but he talked like this and everything was important and everything was in this tone.
You know, can I just say it always amazes me, like you said Walter Cronkite, and I had an immediate picture of him. I know exactly who it is. And then when you said, and for those of you who don't know, it always gets me. It hits me somewhere in my old lady gut. Ugh, yeah. You so old people might not even know who Walter was, you know, like.
No. I mean, you know, like we grew up listening to Walter and Sue. Shout out to Sue Simmons. And let me just tell you, she had them conversations. You know what I mean? Shout out to quite a few of them that were on air. Barbara Walters, you know, that were on air for a long time. And don't think for a second Barbara wasn't having them conversations in background.
Barbara Wawa.
So at the end of the day, it's like, you know, and it's funny, even saying Baba Wawa. Shout out to Gilda Radner. We know where that came from. Gilda. So it's kind of like certain things.
Never mind.
Okay, cult classics, you know. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But you know, I'm gonna still stand on this, and maybe this will be the pinnacle for my life story. But straight talk makes for straight understanding. Period.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave that plane up in the air, Pop. It didn't need to land on this show. I'm gonna leave that plane right up there. I know.
Well, can I say this then? I want to be able to comment on the full story. I feel like I've been cheated a little now.
Though. No, you haven't been cheated.
Yes, I have. You didn't say what you were gonna say.
No,
you don't have to put names in it. But I will say this though, you know, which is important, you know, it depends on how you defined friend. And yes. I know that Facebook changed the game on the understanding of friend, but some of us who are older than Facebook and all the social medias for that matter understood what friendships were. We're blessed enough to understand that friendships require a relationship of sorts, and being friendly is not necessarily being a friend, you know.
That's true.
And life is a series of moments. One moment does not necessarily dictate the next. We know that. And particularly now, because everything swings so quickly, you know, and people have generally, they just have good days and bad days. You know, they really do. So we got to be careful about summing someone up in one of their moments. You know,
this is true.
I consistently say sometimes, I'm going to save my asshole moments because I have them. We all do, But at the end of the day, do I show it all the time? No, we're some of all of our parts, not just the ones that feed other things, like
all of our parts and pieces.
What we want people to, we're some of all our parts, man. We got to remember those parts. It's not one, not one.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yep.
And that would be Mayor Wilson Good from Philadelphia. Yes.
Yes. For those listening on the podcast, there's a comment. I remember when the Philly local government dropped a bomb on men, women, and children in 1985. Not one person was held accountable. And there are people who are able to hold those people accountable, who know who did it, who should be held accountable, and they are opting not to hold those people accountable.
Right. And it was disgusting. And that was Mayor Wilson. That was Mayor Wilson Good. He was in office then, and that was under his watch. Yep. Shout out to Delsina Wigfall in Philadelphia, because she had one of the most amazing exposés of that particular bombing, and had to go underground for a minute because she didn't want the pictures leaked.
Yeah. Elisa says, shit, I don't have to part my lips for nobody. Which reminds me, we will be having Basement After Dark. That will be starting, I'm hoping, right around or before Valentine's Day. So January, February, sometime in there. Wow. And let's have a music break real quick.
Early in the morning, I put breakfast at your table and make sure that your coffee has its sugar and cream. Your eggs are over easy, your toast unlikely. All that's missing is your morning kiss that used to greet me. Now you say the juice is sour, it used to be so sweet, and I can't help but to wonder if you're talking about me. We don't talk the way we used to talk. It's hurting so deep. I've got my pride, I will not cry, but it's making me weak. I'm not your superwoman. I'm not the kind of girl that you can let down and think that everything's okay. Boy, I am only human. This girl needs more than occasional hugs as a token of love from you to me. Ooh, baby. I found my way through the rush hour, trying to make it home just for you. I want to make sure that your dinner will be waiting for you. But when you get there, you just tell me you're not hungry at all. You said you'd rather read the paper and you don't want to talk. You like to think that I'm just crazy when I say that you've changed. I'm convinced I know the problem. You don't love me the same. You're just going through the motions and you're not being fair. I've got my pride, I will not cry. Still I can't help but care. I'm not your superwoman. steps, darling. Give me the answer to the question I ask of you. Please tell me one thing. I need to know just one thing. Can you be true to my love, girl, like mine is true for you? 'Cause everybody needs to find somebody, baby, and I think I found the one that makes my heart go crazy. But if it ain't true, tell me what you gonna do, 'cause I need to know right now. If it ain't love, then tell me what it is. 'Cause girl, I need to know before I just let go and give all my love to you. I'll ask for nothing. Let me give you everything. 'Cause your sweet tender love is more than enough for me. 'Cause I love you, night shine, can never be divided. A love that's built on trust can last an eternity. And everybody needs to find, and I think I finally found. But if it ain't true, tell me what you gonna do, 'cause I need to know right now. If it ain't love, then tell me what it is. 'Cause girl, I need to know before I just let go and give all my love to you. If it ain't love, then tell me what it is. 'Cause girl, I need to know before I just let go and give all my love to you. You knew you had me with your sensuous charm. Yeah, you looked so alarmed as I walked on by. In awesome wonder, you had to know why I did not respond to carry on. Love me in a special way. What more can I say? Love me now. Love me in a special way. What more can I say? Love me now. Love me now, 'cause I'm special, not the average kind who'd accept any line that sounds good. So reach into your chain of thought, try to find something new. What worked so well for you before, for me it just won't do. Love me in a special way. What more can I say? Love me now. Love me in a special way. What more can I say? Love into your chambers. Try to find something new. What worked so well for you before, for me, just for you. Love me in a special way. What more can I say? Love me now. Love me in a special way. What more can I say? Just love me now.
Woo! Yes, that was fun. Speaking of politics and race, did anyone see the movie Passing on Netflix? And if so,
No, not
no, I
yet.
didn't see it. We haven't seen it, so now I have to watch it so that I'll be informed.
It is not on the list though.
Yeah, I don't. I'm sorry, but
I think it's gonna make me mad though.
wait, say it again. Yeah, and this week, I'm taking off this week. By the way, self-care. Although there are some things I have to do, do things. But I'm hoping that I have at least a day where I can just sit in front of the television and go like this. Feed me, because that's the goal, just to get fed. And yeah. Chamber, damn, what do you mean by that, Elisa? Yeah. Oh, Pop's seen it, so we have to see it.
Okay.
I just, there's a couple of things that are on my list to see, and I think all of them are gonna make me emotional because I haven't been watching things, so I have, to catch up. Like, I definitely want to see the Kaepernick mini series.
Well, that.
I heard that was dope, awesome.
It is.
And there's a few other things. Yeah, I don't know what that means and who and what. I'm not gonna read that one out loud. I don't know what that means. Yeah. So yeah. Where we at in terms of time? We got like 15 minutes. 15 minutes. And so you also wanted to know, Dr. SSM. You wanted to know what we thought about the Rittenhouse verdict. We didn't like it. I don't know.
I think there was a lot that, in trials we got to be careful because there's a lot that we don't know that comes out, but it just to me it just served the same
shenanigans and bullfushing and shenanery. Is that a word? Bullfishing and
I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell unless you were a juror. I've done jury duty, and when you do it, they offer a lot of things they don't allow.
I think that judge needs to be taken off the bench, though. His time is up.
Sure.
That judge, that Rittenhouse judge, time is up, baby. Peace out. Go sit in the cornfield.
There's a lot of judges that get elected that don't need to be in those chairs.
And selected. A lot of judges are seated.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, from what I read, don't know if it's true, so it's just something that I read, that Biden has seated a lot more judges in his first year than a lot of other people have. I don't know if that's true or not, but
okay.
I heard that he seated a lot of judges, more than the former guy did, at least, which good. We need some counter judges. Hopefully they're good. We won't know until a wrong verdict or a crazy verdict.
Give up one of them Supreme Court seats.
It's so crazy. Oh, that's another thing that I read somewhere, that they are seriously talking about expanding the Supreme Court because of the stolen seats and the shenanigans that's going on.
Wait a second. Could that be something unprecedented? That's never been done before.
No,
Who's
it's been
gonna
done
do
before.
that?
It's been done before, didn't
They
it?
haven't expanded the Supreme Court. Those have been the same amount of justices from the very beginning.
Well, they're talking about doing it.
Again,
They're talking about it now.
that's my point.
Yeah.
Suspend the elections until further notice.
True, but you know what they're talking about and what they actually do, it's not always congruent.
But like I said, when we have a country that's moving and allegedly evolving, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as can't.
Yeah.
Because the American people are growing in a way. Technology is growing in a way. Things are growing. Things evolve. This antiquated voting system that we got, come on. We know what that benefits at this point. Ain't no reason why all of our money we can do online and digitally and was supposed to be what runs the country, right? But we can't vote. We still scratching ballots. Come on, good people. Come on.
Yep.
That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Still guessing how many jelly beans in the jelly bean jar?
Nah. Not hearing it. Two of the most important things, your medical information, all that's digital now. So many things. Everything is digital. Music is digital. Medicine is digital. Money is digital. And the voting system, we still use the abacus. FOH.
That is interesting. That's a great analogy to Resi Poo. No, for real. That's a good one.
It's sad that we even, put up with this bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm not going to do a whole on this, but since we got a couple of minutes and we still here,
she takes my rap because my rap's the best. The educated rapper MC never fast.
Yo, spit that, do it.
Well, it's just in my head. In one of the Jesse Ventura books, I recall him even saying, hypocrisy is mind-numbing. Honey, count those jelly beans in that jar. It's like
no sanely digital sense. I like that right there. Makes no sanely. True. Yep. The way we vote, in terms of voting rights, I think, and this is just my opinion, who know nothing except that I vote. Not only must everyone see, if I was going to change it, and I don't even, this is the thing too. We're talking about expanding voting rights and fixing voting rights or whatever the hell with voting rights. Who knows what their idea of appropriate voting rights are? See, for me, it would be strip the Electoral College, ensure that everyone 18 and older has the right to vote, right? And our means of voting needs to be central. And like you said, accept the fact that people can hack phones, but if you can do your banking and everything else on this thing, you could do everything. Why not just vote?
Listen, they're hacking it. They're hacking votes. They've been doing that, so it really doesn't, there's no argument for that piece, at all. And yes, think non-fungible tokens. Absolutely. It's a great analogy, Ms. Matthews. Yes. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. And we just have to be in a space where we can say to ourselves, this is the fuckery. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't, one size does not fit all anymore, and it hasn't for a very long time, and our politics need to grow the hell up. Yeah. And I think that if you tell folks
and evolve, yeah.
And that's why I said a special committee, because I realize that everybody will not have anything to offer other than something to see. It's about getting it done. So what immediately happens is it weeds out the people who have opposing situations. Because, okay, well, this may not be for you. For the people that come with negative ideas about why the elections are suspended until further notice, and they come barking at your door about why this is going on and you can't do that, you can't. Well, this committee, sir, is not for you. It ain't for everybody. The special committee is charged with the responsibility of recreating and getting the voters' right piece done. And if people are opposed to it and people don't want to see it happen, that committee is not for them, because that committee will override that particular issue because nobody could get it done. You know, it's something I used to say as a director, right? When people would do what I would call leapfrog, when you'd have a supervisor, and occasionally you have people that don't want to go to their supervisor or their supervisor, and they come to my desk, right? And I will say, did you talk with your supervisor about it? And it's not to get them out of the room per se. It's to say, listen, I care about the relationships here, okay? And I also know that there may be assignments that are going on that I know nothing about, you know, that your supervisor is taking directives from. But if you come to me, there's some assumptions that are made. The assumptions that are made is that you couldn't get it done with the other folk. So my point of view on it is going to be different from your supervisor or your supervisor. And you may not like what I have to say. So I'm going to say to you, use your beautiful powers for good and resolve this issue on the local level. Because by the time it gets to my desk, I just nay or yay it. And I'm not necessarily going to give all of the dialogue about it because I don't have to. I'm assuming that you've discussed this in the line. So now I hear it. I'll hear you out. Listen to the supervisors connected and make a decision, because at that point, nobody's wrong at that point. I'm taking it all in and giving my decision on it. But it doesn't have to come to me because you all have beautiful powers to work it out yourselves. You don't need mommy. What you need to do is believe in your own special powers for good and wave your magic wands, because you're all moving in the same direction as a team. That is it. That is all.
In terms of this question, here's a random question. Why do you think after 70 years of denial, the United States government is now admitting UFOs are real? It's because more people know about it, I guess. And so, you know, they don't admit shit stinks until other people start saying, I smell shit. I smell shit. Okay. So the president does shit. You know, like 100 years, nobody wants to admit that the president shit. And now, you know, I think there must be some evidence that is coming out. Maybe they're expecting some extraterrestrials or some people or beings to come here, and so we won't be shocked or something. I have no idea. I'm just gonna rest
out to the NFT of that recording. Yeah, man. I'm happy to hear that an unreleased recording made when she was 17 has been bought as an NFT for 1.1 million. Oh yes, this is changing the game.
Beautiful.
It's changing the game.
Pop says he's always waving his magic wand.
That is true.
Take images. You need mommy money. If you have little ones, you're getting them. You're getting it. Make me almost want to. No. Anyway,
I'm gonna go adopt some kids.
Yeah, but unfortunately, like everything else, that's gonna run out, and look. I saw this lady.
3 years from now.
This lady who was clearly a couple of years younger than I am. She had a little boy who must have been about 3 years old. I'll give him 4 tops. And his name was Randy. Okay? How do I know his name was Randy? Everybody knew the name was Randy. Why? Because Randy, as soon as he left his building, felt like this is the time to run. I'm free. And Randy was gone.
Great escape.
He was like, and Big Mama was like, Randy, get back here, boy. Randy was like, you'll never catch me. I looked at that lady with Randy and I was like, you know what? They could keep their $300. No, thank you, Randy. You run, Randy, run. That's how I felt about that.
Yes, that is why reparations are needed now.
Yeah, interesting thing about reparations, everybody has a different idea of what they need to look like.
Well, that HR 40 was a good read. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So let's see. We just gotta. I can't stress enough how important it is that this coming year, 2022, we got to get in the box and we gotta vote and give them more than 50% majority. Those people who live in the districts where you have senators Manchin and Sinema, if your elected officials are not going with the program that you want to take place, then vote them out. I don't understand why they still here. I mean, vote them out. Vote for people, put people in the office who you believe will do what it is that you want done, and support your local politicians that are doing what it is that are at least on your side. And it doesn't have to be along party lines. It has to do with what have they done, what are they going to do? That's the thing. Vote his ass out.
Can I just interrupt something real fast?
Yeah, I'm just not sure whether or not Manchin's time is up this year and Sinema. If 2022 their seats are up, because if they are, then they need to be put out and somebody else needs to go into their seats. It's really, we got the power to do that.
I'm over talking about those clowns and giving them any more of my life than I have at this point. But I will say this, and I want to directly address at least a little. I'm not sure if who they are, can never fade Whitney's legacy. Ever, ever, ever. She is still one of the most legendary and amazing voices.
Always will be.
Time. Period. There is no one that can come for her legacy ever. So
90 seconds.
Decide about us, and our self-esteem is not rooted in what they think about us. Doesn't matter. She was ours and will continue to be ours. And she crossed over, and she's a lot of theirs as well. We need to hold our artists in reverence the same way like the Rolling Stones, who haven't released anything in decades and come and sell out arenas. We need to that thing that we have with the use of the term
60 seconds.
We do that more to each other than they ever do it to us. Because if you go overseas, I'm telling you, they understand and appreciate music, period. But as far as Whitney Elizabeth Houston is concerned, there will always be value, always. And shout out to the family, the foundation, and the estate for rocking and rolling the way they do, period. Keeping her legacy alive.
That's true. That's what's up. And I share your sentiments. I agree with you 100% on that. She is ours, and we will always love her.
Always.
Period. And with that, we'll always love you too. See you Wednesday night. Be safe. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Peace, party people.
10 seconds.
Everybody, this is Kenny Bobian, and you're listening to Brunch in the Basement with JaVonne and Terez.
Hi, this is Robin S., and you're listening to JaVonne and Terez in the basement. Show them love!
I can't deal with y'all. Hey, this is Avery Sunshine, and I am in the basement with JaVonne and Terez, shining.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and you're tuned in to Brunch in the Basement with JaVonne and Terez.
Hey, it's your girl Allison Williams, and you're in the basement with JaVonne and Terez.
Hey, this is Lenny Williams, and you're listening to Brunch in the Basement with JaVonne and Terez, playing my kind of music.
the basement, no longer alone, with my homegirl Terez on the microphone. Music, politics, or just chatting it up. Brunch in the basement, see that's what's up. You never know who might run through. Legendary artist or someone brand new. You miss a lot when you miss one day. At least that's what I heard somebody say. But it doesn't really matter what whoever says. It's always a good show with JaVonne and Terez. Yeah. Brunch in the basement with JaVonne and Terez. Yeah. Let's see who we got today. Or
Come on, everybody's a friend in my head. I already know everybody. Whatever it is, it's gonna be good. One day I'll tell you about me and Shaka Khan, but you know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but she doesn't know anything about it. But anyway. No, she doesn't. She wasn't even there actually. But anyway, but she did mention none other than Shaka Khan as one of her.
Why you gotta say? Wait a minute. Why you gotta say Shaka? She did mention none other than Shaka Khan. I'm like, where does your voice go? What happens? What's happening? Even the mere mention of her name. Silence. Oh gosh.
Would you believe I'm blushing?
Yes. Hard. You're speechless blushing. That's the thing. Speechless blushing.
Grazi, I can't help it.
There's a Shaka rehab, you know.
If there's a cure for this, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Our senses, though, Jay. She's got our ears and
I'm gonna send y'all some perfume. I'll definitely get an address. I'll send y'all out tomorrow.
You can send me some cologne, because I mean,
cologne,
you know,
like cologne?
yeah.
I will
Just
do
in
that.
case I should meet Shaka Khan, I want to smell really, you know, nice.
Oh God.
Okie dokie, babe. Whatever you say.
Just wanted to wish everybody a happy Shaka Hanukkah. All right, thank you. Let's carry on. I'm sorry. I had to.
JaVonne, there's a pill you're going to be able to take for that.
I promise not to tell them which way you went, but they're coming for you.
The time, so
and we thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you. This part, that little piece, I'm just gonna keep and play it all the time for myself. But no, I'm just teasing.
And I think it's time, Terez, to do a little rapid fire with Mr. Richard Pryor Jr.
I think so. So
yeah.
Don't worry, we won't hurt you.